I want to start with Missouri. As far as trust most in a major crisis, 61% to Joe Biden. So he's up about 34 percentage votes over Bernie Sanders. If we look in Michigan, 51% for Joe Biden, up about 19%. The same is true in the state of Washington, 46% for Joe Biden compared to 27% of Bernie Sanders. And what's particularly interesting about Washington, of course, that's where the coronavirus epicenter is here in the United States.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about this all night. I want to go to Terry Moran, who's in Michigan for us tonight. And Terry, this is so important. We're talking about coronavirus. Michigan has already announced some changes to how they're going to be reporting tonight. But, you know, in politics, we always talk about an October surprise. COVID-19 has been a March surprise in this primary process.
It sure has, Tom. There's one thing that's clear is that this presidential campaign, this presidential election is going to be unlike any other ever held in American history. Politics is a people business. This virus requires people to distance themselves from one another. Now, we talked today to the Detroit City Clerk, Janice Winfrey. She runs 500 polling places today, thousands of poll workers. She's taking her guidance from the State Department of Health, which is hearing directly from the CDC. There was the hand gel for voters as they walked in. The poll workers were occasionally wiping down the voting booths. But right now you could feel in talking to people that sense that this is a very serious threat to people's health was not front and center. It will be going forward. So you're right. This is a March surprise, but it's also going to be an April, May, June, July, October, and November surprise. The challenge for people like Janice Winfrey, who run the polls here in Detroit, and for poll workers across the country, is how do you hold an election when there's a contagion like that loose in the country? And as you already pointed out, it's changed the nature of the way people think about candidates. Joe Biden looks like a very different candidate in a crisis. Are people as willing to go with a kind of revolution in the way we run things that Bernie Sanders is proposing? President Trump will be judged on his performance. So this is changing the game, both substantively, how voters think about candidates, but also how are we going to do this? And I think that question remains to be answered.
And Terry, on a superficial level, we're also talking about two candidates who are north of 70. And we're talking about basically an industry where you need to press the flesh, you need to meet voters. And both Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders are two candidates who really drive off the energy of those voters when they have large events.
You know, that's a great point, as is President Trump. It's one of the reasons they're so successful. They love to get in front of a crowd. They love to get up close with people. Joe Biden gets in somebody's face today in that angry confrontation over gun rights. That's what they're in the business of connecting with people, persuading people, convincing people, listening to people. And that requires getting close to them. You're absolutely right. They are in a high-risk group. According to the CDC, they are men in their 70s. Bernie Sanders has had heart issues. Joe Biden has had circulatory issues. President Trump has his own issues. This is a very high-risk situation for people of that age group. They are out there. They're putting themselves out there. And that is something they're going to have to manage as well. I think for voters, look, this is the choice for Americans right now. Three men in their 70s and in the middle of a virus which attacks that age group and that gender pretty severely.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.